Hi guys, and welcome back to the Blues Focus channel. And today we are here with another match preview. It's an exciting one. I think we can all agree on that. New manager buzz. Feels like this is happening on a regular basis now, though, doesn't it, lads? Unfortunately, but I'm very positive coming into this next, I suppose, chapter, era, whatever you want to call it. Really, just depends how it turns out. With Lee Bowyer, who I think would have been a better appointment before Karanka, to be honest with you, but that's just my view. Um, I'm happy myself, as many Blues fans are as well. I think it's just the type of appointment we need. It's got very much a Gary Rowett feel to it, so let's hope it pans out that way as well. Kind of, former player, gets the club, uh, fan favourite. I just really hope he can turn it around here at Blues because he's worked wonders at Charlton. Not had the best season so far, but they are in and around the play. Well, they were in and around the playoffs anyway. Um, just despite some difficult periods. But he's experienced with, kind of dodgy-ish owners. Struggles on the pitch. He has experience of coming in and deal with those sort of situations, and also getting the best out of some players and just letting them know that they are good, which he said in his first interview as Blues boss. I'm personally very excited. I think we all know that the atmosphere at St Andrews today could have been just fantastic, really, couldn't it? It's a shame that we're not there for it, but unfortunately, it's just the way things are now at the moment with COVID and all that jazz. But hopefully we can get in there as soon as possible and back Bowyer to the hills. So anyway, let's get straight into the preview. Um, so starting off, what to expect from Reading. Um, they've, as Lee Bowyer mentioned himself in his post-match interview, they've changed formations in their last three games. Um, they clearly have that kind of wealth in first of all, strength in depth, that wealth of kind of rotation, and also just generally having a lot of players who can play in plenty of different positions and can take up different roles along the field. So they have that in their locker, really. So they'll always have a plan B, which a lot of sides struggle to have in the Championship because it's such a tough league. Obviously, we struggled under Karanka because it felt like we never had a plan B. So Reading can be dangerous, and they're fifth for a reason. They played some good football this season, and their squad on paper is young, but it's really talented, um, and can really be a force, if not in the Championship, if not as well next season if things don't work out in the playoffs. But you think if they do manage to get promoted, and they build on that young squad, they could stake a claim in the Premier League. But that's a future conversation, really, for us to have possibly. But for now, they certainly have a great squad, but they do have a few key injuries that we'll run over later on. But definitely exciting, fast-paced football that will frustrate sides, and they can kind of adapt to sides of the game. They are a physical side when they need to be, and they are also a um, very much a good attacking outfit. They do play some pretty football at times. So it just depends how they set up against Blues, what sort of formation they go for. But I just hope for our sake that, we've got that kind of new manager buzz and see where we can go with it. So that kind of leads me on to what to expect from Blues. I think hopefully 4-4-2. I think Mike Bassett puts it best personally, 4-4-2. Let's just hope Lee Bowyer doesn't write his team sheet on the back of a cigarette packet like Mike Bassett did. But hey ho, great movie. Should go check it out. The Mike Bassett England manager. I think I've mentioned it on the podcast a couple of times. But yeah, no, definitely probably 4-4-2 with I think it'll be quite a classic Blues vibe, big man, little man up top, probably with a Hogan and a Cosgrove, or a Hogan and a Dukey. Wouldn't even surprise me if we went with two big men up top, because he's done that at Charlton before with Hemed and a couple of other players that they've had there. But he does like that kind of big man, little man sort of combination. So it wouldn't surprise me if we saw that. But he'll utilise the wingers. Definitely. I also think he'll get the best out of Jonathan Lico, because we all saw how well he performed under Lee Bowyer at Charlton. So we might actually get our value for money finally, which would be great, because we all know there's potential there for the kid, and it's just kind of getting him to show it. And I do think that now is definitely his chance, and we could have a whole new player there to look forward to. So that's great. Depending on the central defensive partnership he picks, which I think will probably be Dean and Roberts, will kind of decide how we play. Personally, I'd go with Friend and Roberts, or Clark Salter and Roberts. But Dean being club captain, nothing against Dean personally right now, because I don't think he's been awful, but he's just not been great. I think there's more informed players out there in the Blue squad right now, in that kind of centre back area. But we'll see. And whether he plays Peds or Friend, we'll see. Probably Pedersen, and then probably Maxine Collin on the right. But you could go Valerie, you never know, or even Dacris Cogley. I'd be happy with any of the three. You'll probably pick Etheridge, but you never know. You could throw a surprise out there and pick G-Cock or someone like that, or Truman. But actually, no, Truman is true. Pretty sure I saw a video of Truman turning up to training, actually, even though I thought he was on loan at Swindon, unless that deal has come up now. But I'm pretty sure I saw him in the training video. So who knows? But yeah, definitely positive. I think will be a lot more harder to beat. And I think we'll also have a few more clear-cut chances than usual. I think we'll play like a proper championship side, like we have under Rowett or Monk. I think it'll be very similar styles. And I do think we'll compete more. And that's the biggest thing for Blues right now, competing. That's what we need to do against such a good Reading side. But we've turned them over this season before. There's a couple of lucky goals, but also great strikes from out of nowhere that we just haven't seen in any other games this season, unfortunately. But we've beaten them before this season. There's no reason why we can't do it again. So how could the game plan out? I think it will definitely be a scrappy game to begin with, but I think Blues will definitely look to start off brightly. But if Reading get an early goal, I really think it could be damaging. But it'd be interesting to see how Blues react and bounce back, because that's the most important thing, the reaction. And they need to realise that they're good players that can turn around results, even if they've been hit down. So that'll also be key going into tonight's game. But I'd like to think it will be a close game, and that maybe that new manager buzz could lift Blues over the line. I know Reading lost to Wickham not long ago, but then since then have turned around their form. I think it's 3 or 4 wins in a row now. But Reading are a team that I think if you set up the right way against them, you'll get a result. So it just depends on what the lineup is. And honestly, I can't tell you, because we don't know who a brand new manager is going to pick at the end of the day. So it's hard to really discuss that topic. But going into the next topic, form and injuries, like I said, I think Reading have won 4 out of their last 5. And Blues have, Jesus, I think we've won 2 in our last 6, or 2 in our last 7. And obviously we lost 3-0 at home in our last game against Bristol, which saw the departure of Aitor Karanka, thankfully. I wish him all the best, but it just wasn't the right fit of Blues for him, unfortunately. Injuries-wise, Blues have got no key injuries. We're all good going into this fixture, which is fantastic news. So Lebo, you will have a full-strength squad to pick from. As for Reading, though, luckily enough for us, they've got Felipe Ariuna, John Swift, Andy Rinomota, and also key figure for them this season, Michael Morrison, ex-Blues defender and captain. So those are some big injuries for Reading, and that really could work in Blues' favour, especially Michael Morrison, who knows the club well, and could be a tough one to play against. So at least we won't be expecting a Morrison goal against Blues, hopefully. As it does appear that he is injured, and hopefully that doesn't change mysteriously before tonight's game. But who knows? Football's a crazy world. But yeah, no. So that's kind of the form and injury stats going into the game. So Reading are definitely the more informed side, but I do think this is a Blues side that won't be high on confidence yet, but definitely with a bit more of a buzz. And if we play with that buzz and utilize it, um, and we look to impress the new gaffer, then there's no reason why we couldn't get a result from this game. Here's hoping. So just finally wrapping up on kind of my predictions for the game. I really want to say like 2-0 Blues or 2-1 Blues or something like that. But I do think Reading, they've been quality this season, especially away from home, and will frustrate us. We should expect that because they're a top side. They're in the top six for a reason. Um, so no, I do think that new manager buzz though for Blues will lean in our favour. Hopefully, it's just a shame there's no atmosphere from the Blues fans to really help get us across the line. But for me, I'm going to be, I feel, as positive as I can be going into such a tough game. Um, Results went our way virtually yesterday, so if we did manage to get 3 points tonight, it'd be massive, massive for the club and the team and the fans. So hopefully we can, and that it'll be like a kind of Watford at home esque Gary Rowett first home game sort of performance. We can all hope and pray, because what a day that was. But for now, I am going to say 1-1. A part of me did feel kind of a 2-1 Reading, because they're up there for a reason. But I do think we can look to be solid and really impress the new gaffer and pick up a point against a promotion chasing side. So it's a 1-1 from me. But we've beaten Reading before this season, so there's no reason for it to be impossible or that we can't. Because anyone could beat anyone in this league, and it wasn't that long ago Reading lost the bottom of the table Wickham, so it can be done. Have faith, Blues fans. But we shall see. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me for another match preview. As always, please feel free to check out the links down below, such as our Patreon, our discount for Manscaped. So please go and check them all out, and also go look at some of our previous videos. There'll probably be a link to those over there on the screen shortly, or it might be on that side. Who knows? But definitely go check them out. We've done some big content recently, especially with the likes of Richard Beale, that's become our most popular video on the channel now. So definitely go check that out, 100%. But thanks for joining me, guys. As always, there will be a live stream on the channel tonight, guys, that I will also be featuring on. So the usual match day live stream, except I'm back for this one as I was away for the last game. My apologies, but can't wait to return back to the live stream with the lads, and should be a good one. And hopefully we get the 3 points. But thanks for joining us as always, and keep right on.